I'm thankful that you did me wrong, cause now I got it right, I promise you gon' miss me gone. I done seen it all like the first picture phone. They wishing on my downfall with the wishing bone.
Like a damn snitch.
Oh man, that's cold.
Look like you about ready to go tell on somebody right damn now.
Now unless you on cloud 10, under a rock, how you heard the motherfucking word? What's good, y'all? It's yours truly. Once again, HeartBreak Ace. If you're familiar with my content or not, hit that like, comment, subscribe so the algorithm gets breaking content every time I upload. Cause y'all already know how I be doing the algorithm. I be having them working non-stop. Then make sure y'all get these videos so y'all can like and subscribe, man. He already know how I feel about my fans. But how do I feel about you, algorithm? The way you make me feel these days. You calm down, man. I get tight every time I think about the algorithm. Cause you better give these people these videos so they can like and subscribe, man. Nah, tough good discussion on why we here, man. Shout out my boy Thug now. The purpose of me making this video today. Now, if you watch my recent video on the YSL Rico case, the judge was telling the prosecutors they on thin ice and the lack of their professionalism and dirty tactics they've been doing in this case. She leaned towards a mistrial. Well, they had a meeting today again, and the topic at hand was Woody, of course. And what they was talking about Woody was, if he decided to not testify come Monday, they leaning towards a mistrial. Why? Because Woody was the main witness and informant in this whole entire case. This whole entire case started with Woody. He the one that implicated or in the interrogation room said he killed Nut, but Young Thug called the hit. This all started from him. This whole YSL Rico case started from Woody. He is the main core essence of what can go wrong or what can go right in this case. Now, if he decides to take the stand and testify, it still could end up in a mistrial. Why? Well, I'm gonna let her explain it herself in the video, but basically, long story short and long story shorter, basically, a lot of the videos and evidence that was in this case before the recusal of Judge Granville is they can't use it. They can't use it no more. It's only certain amount of the evidence or video footage they can actually be able to use, because to Paige Whitaker, she's saying it's a bunch of hearsay. So either way it go, depending the lack of his testimony or pleading to fifth, they're leaning towards a mistrial. Before I even commentate even more about this little situation, you already know what we do when we see an op on the block. But if you can remember on my channel, anytime I'm talking about Paige Whitaker, the judge Paige Whitaker in the YSL Rico case, the op might not be on the block because she probably already got him. But we gonna check anyway. Let's spin the block.
To decide how we're gonna instruct the jury about what to consider and what not to consider as to Mr. Copeland's testimony. Now, this assumes, This assumes that Mr. Copeland decides to testify. Obviously, if he decides at this point, on Monday not to take the stand at all, then it's a pretty easy instruction because it's disregard everything you heard from this witness. But if that's not the case, then does anybody have a proposal for how we are going to, and I think that's what the state had sent something on. And has the defense had a chance to look, and is there, I think Mr. Williams maybe has just sent over his proposed instruction, which hopefully everybody has gotten. All right. All right. So Mr. Williams' motion, his language, that looks pretty good to me. Obviously, we don't need to include the case law sites, but I mean, that looks like a good thing to sort of work from. Now, one thing I guess I was asking, but not very clearly yesterday, was it seemed like there was kind of a fairly clean break between the topics that were covered before the recusal motion and the topic that was covered after the recusal motion. And that being, I think, like on the one day, the question opened with, all right, now let's turn to the murder of Nutt or the murder of Donovan Thomas or whatever. And that was after the recusal motion had been filed. So was there any discussion of the murder of Donovan Thomas with Mr. Copeland prior to the recusal motion? Because it would be pretty easy to also say, not just with regard to dates and times, but anything about the Thomas murder, disregard, if that only came up after the recusal motion was filed.
Your Honor, with respect to any reference, I haven't had a chance to listen to all of it and read all of the testimony and all of the questions that Ms. Hilton asked of Mr. Copeland. But I can say that so I at this time I would ask that the court not instruct the jury as to disregard any specific subject, because
We ain't America's Most Wanted, NYPD Blue, none of that shit you watch.
We something like them.
No, nothing like it.
And I told you I'm a player, and I don't care nothing about none of that.
Because
Well, I'm wondering, so I mean, y'all have had the point of getting y'all all the testimony was, well, one of the points was so that you could look at it.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I haven't looked at it. I'm looking for and reading it.
Yeah, so I mean, if there is kind of a break in terms of subject matter as well, that'd be an easy thing to instruct on. But does anybody know the answer to that?
So the
You do? Okay. What's the answer?
I misspoke yesterday, but there were video portions of Mr. Copeland's statements on early morning hours of January 11th, 2015, as well as January, I think it's 21, 2015, played for the jurors. They were small. They were like, quote unquote, real impeachment.
Right.
After that, though, after the motion to recuse was filed, is the wholesale playing of various recordings. So I don't think that it would be appropriate to say disregard everything. I have all my notes.
Okay.
And I have the transcript.
Okay.
But he did discuss things that you're talking about. He did discuss his relationship with Mr. Williams, his relationship with Donovan Thomas, with Mr. Kelvin Watts.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he was getting there.
Okay, but if it's all that sort of background relationship stuff, that's not the murder of Donovan Thomas. That's all the background. So what I'm trying to sort out is, had there been any testimony about the actual, here's the night of the murder stuff before the recusal motion?
So, Judge, it's when you say about, in as much as it's relevant to the issue of the murder itself, that's the reason why I was asking the relationship between parties and all of those kind of issues.
That's not what I mean, and we can be clear about that. I mean, the night of the murder, the what happened how the murder went down.
I think it's safe to say that as far as Mr. Copeland is concerned, the specifics of the night of the murder information or evidence was given post-recusal motion.
All right. Is there anybody that disagrees with that? All right. Thank you.
Would the court consider the state's position that in characterizing any evidence in any way, it could imply to the jury that certain other evidence does not fall into that category? So in other words, any evidence of the night of the murder, I'm not certain how the court will be instructed.
I'm not either. That's what we're supposed to be tailoring today. That's what I wanted y'all to be giving lots of thought to. But yeah, no, I want to tailor it in such a way that I don't mislead the jury about anything. But y'all all agree that we have to tell them to disregard some of it. And I mean, yeah, maybe the cleanest thing to do is, XYZ date, but people don't normally think about their lives in, June 3rd. Okay. I know exactly what June 3rd had to do with, unless it happens to be their birthday or something like that. But so, yeah, I mean, I'll consider all of what you want to offer me, but okay.
Personally, and I'm not speaking for I went by my notes as well as a transcript, but my notes have more things. I guess I don't know. They were my notes, but I don't have anything specifically talking about the Donovan Thomas murder before Mr. Weinstein filed the motion to recuse. I do have like a January 11, 2015 interview by Detective Thorpe of Mr. Copeland.
Yeah.
It is admitted over objection, and it was played from 3:29:46 to 3:30:13. And I have to go back and remember what that was about, but I have little things like that, but I don't have any specific.
That's very helpful. And I knew there were a couple of small snippets of videos played. So if you've actually got the timestamp as to what parts were played, then it's easy enough to have somebody look at those snippets and see what it covered.
Can I announce now or?
Yeah.
So everyone can check. I have States Exhibit 378Y, as in Yankee, B as in Barry, 6, and these are the time slots, 6:46:34 to 6:46:44, and that's a January 28th, 2015 interview.
Okay.
And then I have the January 11, 2015 interview marked at States Exhibit 358A as in Elisa, and it's at the time I just said, which is 3:29:46 to 3:30:13. That's what I have. And then I have nothing else about specifically his interviews after the killing.
Okay, 3:29:46 to
3:30:13.
Okay, thank you.
And that's at 358A as in Elisa.
All right, and I think that's our review had only revealed those two, anything from those two videos also. All right, anybody else have a different recollection about either more videos or the specific topic of the night of the murder having come up?
Pushing like no paperwork has been changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
What the fuck you looking at, Ray?
You know, I noticed that you and Mr. Wilkins been mighty friendly lately. What, y'all gonna be a new couple or something?
Kiss my ass, Ray.
All right, y'all, we back. Just a little one quick 10-minute swerve. Wasn't too long. We saw the op on the block and we got him. Now, I'm going to say this. I've been following this case since like the beginning, and you know, people got a lot of... See, I love my community and I love to engage with my community. I'm all for the debates. I don't have soft skin. We can agree to disagree anytime, and I'll still be cool with you. You know what I mean? But just understand, if you try to do like any kind of roast things or call me dumb or stupid because the way I break down my opinions on anything, any video, especially this one, don't have soft skin or be a crybaby when I roast you back. However, I only say that to say this. A lot of people think YSL Woody or negative 50 IQ, like I always said, my fellas. A lot of people think that he's very smart and he's outsmarting the prosecutors and the defense. But he's really not. He tried to do that. But all that backfired when Granville got recused. Because all the stuff they were telling him to say and they were telling him what to do. Why you think in the whole interrogation during the trial when Woody was up there, Granville was just so nice to him and all that, even though he was being disrespectful, telling the lawyer or the attorney that was asking him questions of how breath stink and all this type of shit. He was catching attitudes, and Granville was just being real nice to him, but he wasn't doing that with nobody else on the defense team. So all that shit out the window. That's why when she asked him about his attorney, he didn't even know if he still had an attorney or not, because they telling him what to say and what to do. He even admitted it. If he don't plead the fifth and don't say he killed Donovan Thomas, he can go home. So they basically been coercing him and orchestrating this whole thing. But now that Granville's gone, Fannie Willis obviously had him on her side. And I think the second judge that was going to be in this case was going to be on her side as well. But now the third case, like I said in previous videos, they clashing on who's the big bad wolf, big dog when it comes to Atlanta in the legal system, in the justice system, obviously. So Paige Whitaker gonna make sure she do everything right. She going by the books, and it looked by her going by the books. Thug stay down, stay solid, ain't said nothing, ain't said a word, and it looked like it might be working in his favor. This was not planned, but the way the events went, and Brian still been a good lawyer, it's a chance come Monday, whatever Woody say, even if he decide to testify, they're not even using all the evidence that was there prior, and everybody agreed, as you saw in my video. So a lot of stuff that was going to be blaming Young Thug, they can't even use that evidence anymore. And if he decided to plead the fifth, well, you already heard what I said was going to happen. If he plead the fifth, they're going to disregard anything he ever said in this case. And they're going to lock him up till the trial over. But I need to remind y'all, he is basically the only witness in this case. He was the informant the whole time. He is the originator why this case even being created. So if he pleaded fifth and don't give a testimony, they don't have much to go off of. And they're not going to keep spending resources on this case if they don't even have a witness. They're not going to be able to keep trying to try him the same way. So if they don't got the people they got now, it's over. And the other person you could have used is Gunner. They don't have Gunner. So determined either way, I just think it was a smart chess move on the defense team. Brian still stayed down, even didn't even care if he was gonna get locked up. He just wanted to be in the cell with Young Thug so they can work on their case. You gotta respect that. Now y'all people thinking that Woody outsmarting them, but he's not outsmarting them. And to me, if you ask me, Miss Paige Whitaker, she just don't like Woody trying to make a mockery of the justice system. He coming in there telling them he lied. They let him out free. He doing interviews and 20v1s, been disrespectful to the women on the 20v1s. In the interviews, he go from talking with somebody who got sense, and then he go from being a Billy Badass. He going back and forth with Mondo and all these people, and he's still taunting people. So they don't like that, bro. If we see it, you know they see it, because they just dealing with the case. So you know they got eyes on Woody. And for whatever reason, for the people that think he's smart, then y'all should tell him he need to know better than the shit he doing. I ain't saying don't go get your bag because people want to hear about this story, but you're going about it the wrong way. And I don't think she like it. And I know they like to stereotype our people a lot, but people like Woody is the reason why they stereotype our people. Because he acting very, very ignorant. And unfortunately for us, especially if you come from the streets, people like Paige, Whitaker judge all of us the same because of people like Woody. And any chance we can get in better in our life, it makes it extra harder for us, and we get more obstacles because of people like Woody. So all the people that's taking his side and cheering him on, y'all need to reevaluate yourselves, because he is the prime example of why our people are always stuck in the box. It ain't nothing he doing in this situation. This whole entire thing is smart. Even with the I done the cow, my shoulders, he got all that from his defense team to tell him to do that. On the prosecutor side, because they trying to get Young Thug. But now all their little antics is getting thrown out. So what do they have left? Not too much. And like I kept saying, man, this case is so messy, and it's messing up the justice system. It's making Atlanta have it's putting a bad name on Atlanta, period. And because of that, I think they'll just be cool with the time that Young Thug already served. They still gonna try to probably give him some bullshit probation or something for the guns that they found in his house the day that they got him for this Rico case, when they came and bust his home, because they found drugs and guns in there. They probably gave him a little charge for that. He done been in jail like 2 years, you know, so they probably give him probation or something like that and get rid of this case. And then they're gonna try to get rid of Fenton Willis too, because it's just been a headache. It's just been a headache. But that's just what I believe, man. But leave a comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel. Man, you know, this world keeps showing me every day, and showing y'all. Well, I always say, love each other. Till next time, it's yours truly, HeartBreak. What's good, Late Bloomer Gang? It's yours truly, HeartBreak Ace. Now, I don't know about y'all, but for me personally, since I could remember as a kid, I've been a geek and a nerd when it comes to technology. Now, I got to have the latest trends. I got to have the nice cameras, all of that, all the essentials for podcasting, especially making these videos to give y'all with high quality audio and visuals. I only go to one place, and of course y'all know that's Amazon. Amazon got everything you need, everything from A to Z, literally. And you know they got a lot of good prices. Some things are pricey, but you don't have to get that. You know what I mean? I know people be on a budget a lot. We got bills to pay. We got to take care of our kids. We got an everyday lifestyle. I get it. So I made a list for y'all, must have for content creators, for beginners or pros. Just simply go on my channel, hit the link like I'm showing you in this video, and see if it's something that you might like. I'm pretty sure you will, especially if you want to look good like I do on these videos. Nah, I'm just joking with y'all, man. But you know, man, as always, show love. Show love to each other. It's yours truly. Till next time, it's HeartBreak.